Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like all your energy had been drained? As if something heavy lingered inside you, an unexplained fatigue that wouldn't go away. Sometimes people come into our lives not with a loud chaos, but with a quiet storm. They don't yell, they don't fight. They simply steal your peace in subtle, almost invisible ways. As the Stoic philosophers taught, your most important duty is to protect your inner world. That means learning to recognize toxic individuals, refusing to play their emotional games, and developing the strength to defend your own mind and spirit. In this video, we'll walk you through an emotional strength checklist grounded in Stoic wisdom. Using the thoughts of great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, you'll learn step by step how to spot harmful people, and more importantly, how to preserve your inner balance despite them. If you're someone who wants to become mentally stronger, more aware, and emotionally untouchable, then this video is for you. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and most importantly, share this message so that others like you can also learn to protect themselves from draining energies. If you're ready, let's begin. The Stoic foundation. For the Stoics, the key to life was simple. Focus only on what is within your control and accept the rest with calm detachment. Most people become angry or panicked when faced with stress, disappointment, or difficult people. They blame others. They react. But the Stoics asked a powerful question. In this moment, what is truly under my control? Let's reflect for a second. You're late for the subway. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A coworker treats you with disrespect. You want to get angry, and you probably have every right to. But holding on to that anger doesn't help you. It only serves them. Because in that moment, you're giving away your focus, your peace, even your entire day to someone else. And if you let your emotions take over again and again, you're no longer in charge of your mind. As Marcus Aurelius said, if peace is important to you, then you must learn how to protect it. Toxic people and the energy they drain. Imagine this. You have a coworker who constantly complains. From the moment they walk in, they criticize others, focus on the negative, and suck the energy out of the room. At first, you try to be understanding. You respond kindly. You give them space to vent. But with time, you realize this person doesn't want to change. They want to pull you into their low-energy world. So what does the Stoic mindset tell us? You are not responsible for their attitude, only for your own response. Whether you choose to emotionally react or calmly observe while keeping your center, that's your power. Why do toxic people target your emotions? Because when they can't control your inner peace, they try to shake you from the outside. When you remain calm, you appear strong. But the moment you get triggered, you give them power. These people want to make you feel guilty, play the victim card to control you, push you into defensive mode, try to drown your calm with their drama. And that right there is a trap. If you step into their game, you've just handed them the steering wheel of your mind. So how does a Stoic respond? Have you ever felt completely drained after meeting someone? As if your entire energy had been sucked out. A strange heaviness lingers inside you, an unexplained fatigue. Sometimes people enter our lives and quietly steal our peace, dragging us into their chaos, all in a silent and subtle way. As the Stoic philosophers said, a person's most important duty is to protect their inner world. And that means learning how to recognize harmful people, avoiding their traps, and defending your soul from their toxicity. In this video, we'll present an emotional fortitude checklist inspired by Stoic wisdom, a set of clear steps based on the teachings of great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Will walk you through how to spot those who poison your peace, and more importantly, how to protect your mental balance. If you want to become stronger, more alert, and emotionally untouchable, watch this video until the end. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and most importantly, share this message so that others like you can protect themselves from destructive energies. If you're ready, let's begin. To the Stoics, the main goal in life was to focus only on what is within your control. and to accept everything else with calm. Many people get angry, panic, or blame others when faced with problems. But the Stoic would simply ask, what part of this situation is within my control? Let's consider a few examples. You're late for the subway. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A colleague speaks to you with disrespect. You want to react, and you have every right to feel irritated. But carrying that frustration around only serves the other person, because in that moment you're giving away your inner power, your focus, and even your day. If you constantly surrender to your emotions, you're giving someone else the steering wheel to your mind. As Marcus Aurelius said, if peace of mind is important to you, then you must learn how to protect it. Imagine you have a colleague who constantly complains. Every morning they arrive with negativity. They criticize others, drain your energy. At first you try to understand them. You respond with empathy, maybe even positivity. But over time, you realize this person doesn't want to change. They want to pull you into their own lifeless world. What does the Stoic approach say? That you are only responsible for your own reaction. Whether you emotionally respond to their words or calmly observe and maintain your balance, that's your choice. Why do toxic people always target your emotions? Because when they can't reach your inner core, they try to shake you from the outside. When you stay calm, you appear powerful. But the moment you lose your temper, you hand them your power. These people try to make you feel guilty, always paint themselves as the victim, force you to defend yourself, want drama to overpower peace. And this is a trap. If you step into their game, you lose control of your own mind. So how does a Stoic behave? He never gets lost in the chaos of events. He observes himself. He analyzes his surroundings. He thinks before reacting. Because he knows, when your inner peace is broken, your decisions will also be broken. If someone yells at you, that's their problem. But if you yell back, that's your test. Inner strength is not about being harsh. It's not about being cold or emotionless with others. Inner strength is the ability to respond appropriately at the right moment. The storm may shake you, but the deep waters always remain still. If you take control of your mind, you too can remain steady through life's tempests. What's the most effective way to recognize people in your life? Tell them no. Most people want to be known for love, respect, understanding. But if those things only exist when you say yes, then that's not love. That's expectation built on your compliance. That's why you need boundaries. Setting a boundary isn't just about saying I won't do this. It's about expressing your worth, protecting your time and energy, and above all, defining yourself based on your own values, not someone else's demands. For example, if someone calls you after work and tries to dump extra responsibility on you, and when you say, "This isn't my responsibility," they accuse you of being irresponsible. That person does not respect your boundary. They don't respect you. They want to use you. Or think of a friend. You always initiate plans. They say they're too busy. But the moment they have a problem, you're the first person they call. This is a one-sided relationship. And when you finally say, "We can't continue like this," suddenly, you become the one who changed. But what really changed? Nothing. You simply started protecting yourself. When toxic people cross your boundaries and you push back, they often react in these ways. 1. They guilt trip you. "Wow, so you're ending our friendship this easily?" 2. They mock you. "You've really changed. You didn't used to be like this." 3. They threaten you. "If this keeps going, there'll be nothing left between us." These are basic emotional manipulation tactics, designed to make you regret saying no. But ask yourself, why must my comfort be sacrificed when it makes someone else uncomfortable? Why does my no turn into hatred in their eyes? Why are my values only accepted when they align with others' desires? The answer is simple. Until you set boundaries, these people had control over you. Saying no is not the end of the relationship. It's the beginning of seeing its true face. If someone cannot accept you as you are, someone who sets limits, protects their peace, gets tired, and sometimes just doesn't want to, then they do not value you. They only value the role you play. And the moment you stop playing that role, they discard you. These people want to control you in the name of love. They want to use you in the name of friendship. They want to manipulate you in the name of family. The Stoic perspective? Be calm, but don't be blind. Listen, but don't absorb everything. Feel, but don't abandon your principles. Because true strength isn't about giving endlessly. It's about knowing when to stop. Remember this. Your boundary is your identity. Those who accept it will stay. Those who don't were never meant to stay in the first place. If a single no makes someone leave, then you haven't lost anything. In fact, you've just started to find yourself. If there's always drama, always gossip surrounding someone in your life, it's time to ask, where is this chaos coming from? Most of the time, such people unload their inner mess onto you. They throw their problems onto your shoulders, not seeing you as a responsible individual, but as an emotional dumping ground. Here's the truth. People fall into two categories. One, those who bring peace, understanding, and joy wherever they go. Two, and those who bring tension, complaints, and conflict wherever they are. Now ask yourself, which kind of people do you want around you? If someone is constantly in conflict with others, if their name always shows up in arguments, if you've felt more drained since they entered your life, these are signals. Many people are so unfamiliar with inner peace that silence feels uncomfortable to them. So subconsciously they create or seek conflict. They'll try to drag you into their cycle. They want you to get angry, to argue, to complain, because their power lies in making you lose your balance. But you choose the Stoic approach. Stoic philosophy teaches us, if there is peace within you, no storm outside can touch you. You get to decide, will you react or not? Epictetus once wrote, it's not the event that harms you, but your permission for it to affect you. Let that be your shield. Your life is like a precious garden. Whichever tree you water, that's the one that grows. If you constantly pour energy into toxic people, you'll lose your strength. Instead, surround yourself with those who radiate calm, peace, and clarity. These people will elevate your soul. When they touch your life, they don't bring storms, they bring stillness. Peace isn't just the absence of noise. It's the presence of inner alignment. And for Stoics, that was one of the highest states one could attain. So if people say you're too quiet, know that it's not a complaint. It's a confession of the difference between you and them. Because the quiet person is the thinking person. They are not ruled by emotion. They don't react, they observe. But for some, this is terrifying. They're so used to the noise in their heads that they see your silence, not as peace, but as a threat. They'll call you cold, emotionless, distant. But in reality, you're not refusing to feel, you're choosing to respond, not react. So why do they try to pull you into drama? Because they don't know how to carry their chaos quietly. And when you stay calm, they feel like they're looking into a mirror, and it makes them uncomfortable. So they provoke you, irritate you, push your buttons just to make you lose your calm, because your silence exposes their storm. Marcus Aurelius once said, if someone has wronged you, that harm is already in the past. It is not the event that hurts you, but your reaction within. That means you choose. Will you remain calm or not? Your inner harmony is your responsibility, not a toy for others to play with. Be proud of your calm, because in today's world, emotional stability is one of the rarest forms of strength. There are two types of people. One, those who respect your peace and help preserve it. Two, and those who try to disrupt your peace and mock it. One empowers you, the other drains your energy. One makes you feel safe, the other keeps you in a constant state of needing to prove yourself. Never forget, integrity is the pillar of Stoic philosophy. Because where there is no honesty, there can be neither trust nor inner peace. Stoics chose to speak clearly, because that's a sign of respect, both to yourself and to the person in front of you. But some people don't speak directly. Instead, they lead you into emotional confusion. They won't talk. They'll just give vague looks. They won't ask questions. They'll act cold and distant. If there's a problem, they won't say it. They'll force you to guess. People with bad intentions know how to use your conscience against you. They choose their words carefully to make you feel guilty. even when they're the ones at fault. For example, instead of saying, "I feel hurt," they'll say, "I can't believe you did this to me." Instead of saying, "I'd like to talk," they'll say, "You never care, you never want to talk." These aren't meant to solve problems. They're meant to control you. At this point, it's no longer communication, it's manipulation. Epictetus said, "If you want to protect yourself, don't become a tool for another's thoughts." This means you are not obligated to speak in someone else's language of resentment. If someone won't speak clearly with you, if they're not sincere, if they try to think for you instead of with you, that's a red flag. A Stoic person doesn't react in these situations. They observe. If there's manipulation, they pull back and protect their inner peace. This raises an important question. Why do people manipulate? Because manipulation is easier than honest communication. It takes courage to say, "I disagree with you," but it's much easier to blame you and then wait for your emotional reaction. Those who manipulate usually can't manage their own emotions, don't understand clear boundaries, and worst of all, try to place their responsibilities on others. Your job is not to respond to someone's game. Your job is to understand the game and walk away from it. If someone constantly says things like, "You did this, that's why I'm like this," they're trying to shift the responsibility for their life onto you. But Stoic philosophy teaches your reactions are your responsibility, not someone else's. Some people don't want to be alone, but they also won't give you peace. They feed off one thing, isolation. They want to separate you from others. How do they do this? They speak poorly about others behind their backs. They say things like, "That person said this about you." They force you into decisions. It's either me or them. But a real friend would never behave this way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were made for each other. If you don't understand this, you don't understand the meaning of life." Toxic people try to destroy this unity. They approach you with phrases like, "Only trust me." They're not right for you. Others don't really care about you. But pay close attention. These aren't words of protection. They're tactics to isolate you, to make you emotionally dependent. Their game is simple: to cut you off from your network, your family, your friends, and even your own decision-making. Because isolation is their power, but connection is your power. The fewer people you have around you, the easier you are to control. Genuine people will tell you things like, "Go spend time with your friends. Visit your parents, it's good for you." It makes me happy to see you connect with others, because they are happy for your freedom. They don't envy it. For the Stoics, unity and community were fundamental values. They knew that a person doesn't evolve alone, they grow through connection. Seneca once wrote, "Life is too hard to live without friendship. With a friend, it becomes sweet. Without one, it becomes suffering." Now let me tell you something truly powerful. Never forget this. When you're strong, everyone wants to be around you. But when life gets hard, when your soul is tired, when everything begins to fall apart, that's when true faces are revealed. Some people, when you're weak, disappear because they can no longer gain anything from you. Criticize because now you're no longer perfect. Distance themselves because you're no longer convenient. And then you realize they weren't there for you. They were there for what they could get through you. For Stoics, the foundation of relationships was not about benefit, but about shared values. Seneca once wrote, "A friend is not for the good days. A friend is someone who is there when you truly need them." Some people give you so much energy that you breathe easier around them. Others stand next to you just to take something from you. If someone reacts like this when you're struggling, "What about me?" You're always the one with problems. Stop being so weak already. Then know this, that person is not support. They're a burden. The Stoics believed never make decisions in the middle of emotion. Observe instead. Ill-intentioned people always reveal themselves eventually. But when you're in a vulnerable state, the truth shows itself much faster. Epictetus said, If you want to know who a person truly is, don't look at what they've been taught. Look at how they endure difficulty. And the same principle applies to others around you. So ask yourself a simple test. When I was weak, how did that person speak to me? When I cried, did they stay silent or did they listen? When I couldn't make a decision, did they criticize or understand? These questions are your emotional compass. Remember this: toxic people only care about your strong, smiling, giving version. But life is not just made of those moments. To the Stoics, true value lies in the one who helps you rise when you fall. And when you learn to recognize that difference, that's when emotional freedom begins. And one last reminder, to be Stoic doesn't mean to distrust everyone, but learning to observe everyone. That is the most refined form of emotional strength. So accept this: encountering bad people is a part of life, but how much space we give them, that is our choice. The Stoics never taught us to run away from people completely. They taught us how to protect the inviolability of the soul among them, because this world is neither a place of only the good nor only the bad. This world belongs to those who can discern. Many people think that setting boundaries, distancing yourself, or saying no is selfish. But in truth, it is claiming ownership of your own soul. Epictetus said, "What comes from the outside cannot break you. What breaks you are your own reactions." That's why your duty is to manage your reactions, which means you decide who gets access to your life. Now, let me give you a set of questions you should regularly ask yourself. Do they respect my peace? Do they understand my boundaries or violate them? After being with them, do I feel stronger or drained? Are they honest and transparent with me or manipulative? Do they help me feel connected to the world or isolated from it? These questions can quietly but powerfully reshape the direction of your life. Sometimes we try to fix and save or change people, but what the Stoics taught is this: people only change if they choose to. Your responsibility is to protect your inner peace. If you're constantly fighting with someone, maybe it's not a relationship anymore. Maybe it's a test, and maybe you've already passed it. And finally, the core message of this video is: don't hate bad people. Simply observe how they are and turn self-protection into a daily practice. This simple approach is the essence of inner strength. If this message resonated with you, you are not alone. There are many who feel like you, think like you, and want to grow like you. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it. Maybe your share will be a wake-up call for someone. Maybe your silence will be a light in someone else's storm. Always stay calm, stay strong, stay free, because that is the Stoic way.